Hi, this is MIcornus Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Church Governance Solutions. This is a platform where we're restoring godly order in the house of the orderly God. And today we are continuing with a topic that speaks about attributes of dynamic pastors. And we are dealing with part 4 today, and I hope that that becomes useful for you as well. Now, we believe strongly that we need to become dynamic in everything that we do. And as a leader, you need to be dynamic because also your own people need to see the dynamism in you. And that will give them trust to your leadership and followership as well. They will follow you. Now, people submit under people that they realize are dynamic, people that they know that they will learn from, people that they know that have got solutions and problem solvings for them as well. And this is very important that we emphasize that. Now, dynamic people or dynamic pastors, they've got an attribute of being initiative in nature, and they're also very creative as well. Now, I cannot actually speak about dynamism without speaking about you being initiative in nature and being creative as well. You need to be creative. You need to develop systems sometimes that no one else have got. You need to decide on developing some ways of doing things, of doing ministry. And make your ministry not to be a ministry usual. You need to make your ministry unusual sometimes, where you bring in some innovative ways of how to fellowship. Now, we are yet to see pastors that will say, I'm moving my church because my members are busy on Sundays. I'm moving my church to a Friday afternoon or Friday evening. I'm yet to see dynamic people that are decisive, that study their own communities and realize what are the actually interests of their own community, and therefore align their church services and align their ministries according to the community. And that's what you're talking about. You become creative. You become initiative in nature. You don't do what other people are doing just for the sake. You do that which is suited for your own community of people that you are ministering to or you are called to, that community that you are being planted in. So you become initiative and you become creative as a result. Now, dynamic pastors are creative and they take initiatives to do things that will bring growth. You start to see what will bring growth in this ministry. You look at initiatives that can do that. Those initiatives might be very new from your mind. It might be initiatives that nobody else have implemented in the past. So you need to be decisive enough to take that charge and become in control and say, I'm going to implement this despite of I've never seen that happening somewhere, but I believe this will bring growth to the ministry. So you start actually implementing because you are convinced that that will bring growth. Now, something that will bring progress, something that will bring expansion to the work that you're doing. So please implement it, even though you've never seen it anywhere. And that's what we call initiativeness. And that's what we're talking about also, creativeness as well. So that's very important. Creativity comes from people that are ready to implement new things. And this is very important that as a pastor, you start to innovate, to initiate things that you might have not used before, things that has never happened in that particular ministry of yours or even in the surrounding. So therefore, please make sure that you become open-minded as you do that. Now, you must make sure that you do your work without supervision sometimes, where you make a decision and that decision is yours and you stay and stick by it so that you become somebody who is initiative and decide and of course creative as well. So become creative with everything that you do, and it will actually help you to introduce better ways of implementing or doing ministry, and that's very important. So because dynamic people, they don't wait for their ship to come in and swim out to meet them. So what they do, they swim out and to meet them. So because sometimes we always say you wait for a ship to come in, but we're talking about somebody who will say, there is a ship coming, let me swim and go and meet that ship. And that's very important. And that's what we call creativeness and initiative as well. And that builds somebody who's able to build a great work because of this particular attribute. So they are actually, when you look at that, they surely dig their own wells before they are thirsty. So we talk about somebody who would say, I'm thirsty. I'm not thirsty yet, but let me dig a well and to make things ready. Because sometimes we need to be proactive enough to an extent that we do things that will help us in future, even though you may not need that now. But when you're initiative enough, when you're creative, you're going to bring about ideas that will help your ministry to stand. Now, the other attribute of pastors that are dynamic in nature is to work on yourself. People that work on themselves are actually very dynamic in nature. Now, many times we want to critique and look at other people how they do things, and sometimes we want to do things how people are doing, and sometimes we criticize them when things that they're doing are going wrong and they're not improving, and we criticize them, but we don't work on ourselves. And we are actually not taking time to work on ourselves. Dynamic people, they work on themselves. They don't take themselves for granted. They don't say, I have reached a level where I know everything. Remember, that is ignorance to think that you know everything, to think that you have arrived. That's ignorance, because you cannot know everything in this life. You cannot know everybody, and you cannot know everywhere in this life. So therefore, you must actually be ready to learn. Open up your mind as a dynamic person and learn from others as well. And that's very important. So when we talk about working on yourself, we talk about giving yourself empowerment, giving yourself more knowledge. Move yourself from ignorance to knowledge and increase your knowledge at all times. That is what we call working on yourself. Because dynamic people, they realize that they will either be their greatest asset or they will be liability in the ministry. Because when you don't have much knowledge, you don't have much skills, and you needed to learn those skills and become a better person, you become a liability when you don't have those skills. But when you've got those skills, you are able to become a greatest asset to yourself and your own ministry. And the majority of the pastors that have actually learned more and actually become more dynamic, they become an asset to themselves. And some of the skills are just not ministry skills only. Maybe just handiwork ministry, work whereby you are able to fix electricity plugs, and when doors are broken, you fix and so on. Remember, when the ministry is still small, you don't even have money to pay people to fix things. But these are type of skills that you could actually just acquire while they are going to help you handy in the ministry. But we speak about working on yourself here. We speak about developing yourself as well with that knowledge. That knowledge will help you, and therefore you will be able to do that work that needs to be done. So people that are dynamic, they consciously work on themselves. And what they do is they improve and grow. And what they do is they also make sure that they hone their skills and sharpen them, and particularly their character. Remember that your character becomes your own major asset. And majority of the people that don't want to hone their character to mature and become better, they've actually let themselves down. Even the ministries that they've built so hard to reach to a certain level, they crash it within a minute because of lack of character. And we want to emphasize that. So people that are dynamic in nature, they improve, they grow, they hone their skills, and they sharpen their character and skills as well to lead better, because you can only lead better when you've got knowledge and skills to lead the people. Now, finally for today, another attribute that I want to just leave you with is that people that are dynamic, they love the truth more than people. They love the truth more than people. If you look at 2 Corinthians, like chapter 13, basically verse 8, you'll realize that dynamic people love people. They value people, and they always help people. But they love the truth more than loving the very same people. And I want to say this again. Now, dynamic people don't just only love people. They don't just actually care for people. But they realize that as much as you love the people, you care for them as well. But you need to be dynamic by being able to love the truth. Because there are those people that will actually launch you and tempt you to defend them even in a lie. And as a dynamic pastor, you cannot afford that, because that destroys your own reputation. It does destroy your character when you start to defend the people in their lies. So you need to basically make sure that you stand on the side of the truth, even though you care for the people. If they get hurt because you're standing on the side of the truth, let them be hurt, because this is for the sake of your own character and reputation. And people that are dynamic in nature, dynamic pastors, they are able actually to balance that out, to love the truth more than the people. You cannot defend people for their lies. You must defend only the truth at all times, and that will help you as a leader to become dynamic. And people that realize that to stand for the truth, they align themselves to the truth, and therefore they actually appreciate when you correct them from the life of lies that they're living, and because they want to be shaped up, and they love you for that, because they realize that you're correcting them so that they can become better. And this is very important. It's good to value people, but value the truth more as a dynamic person. So people that are dynamic, they speak the truth, they stand for the truth, they stand in the truth, and they loan out the truth to others always, because that's very important that you do so, and people will respect you when you stand on the side of the truth. We want to end up here today. Your host, MIcornus Phokane. Remember, this is Church Governance Solutions. I'm the leader, I'm the founder, and therefore we're restoring godly order in the house of the orderly God. Before we check out today, I want to remind you of our social media platforms. Of course, our Facebook page is Church Governance Solutions, and my personal Facebook page, MIcornus Phokane. So please like those pages and follow us on them. Don't forget our YouTube channel is under Young Men Empowerment Forum. Young Men Empowerment Forum is the YouTube channel. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Just like it as well. Make sure that you share that platform with other people as well. Remember our TikTok account, where we are more popular to our youthful people. And please join us. And we've got a lot of videos that we've posted in the past, and I hope that that becomes more important for you. Remember that we're also having Instagram as well. And please follow us on my own personal Instagram, which is under MIcornus Phokane. And of course, the TikTok account as well is under my name, MIcornus Phokane. So follow us there, and the good Lord will bless you as you do that. Now, we are going to check out right now, but we want to invite you for the final installment of this particular topic tomorrow, which is part 5. And the good Lord will bless you as you really follow us there. And have your good night. Have a good day. Those of you who are in the day, have a good morning. For those of you who are in the morning, as we're having followers from different parts of the world. So please enjoy the rest of your day and allow us to check out right here and say cheers for now.